It's early morning at the Kochi harbour. A moment of pride for Team Sansad TV as it sailed for its coverage of a modern day maritime wonder. And there it was, basking in sheer magnificence, its size and the scale overwhelming us.
Let me quote Prime Minister Modi, यदि लक्ष्य दुरंत हैं, यात्राएं दिगंत हैं, समंदर और चुनौतियां अनंत हैं, तो भारत का उत्तर है विक्रांत। Hello and welcome viewers. You're watching this special presentation of Sansad TV on the largest ship ever built in India's maritime history, INS Vikrant. In this edition, you'll get to know everything you ever wanted to know about this force multiplier that fortifies and strengthens India's capabilities. So come along with me on this mesmerizing journey.
Our team went through the stringent security checks before it could take stock of this technological and engineering marvel. INS Vikrant, India's first indigenous aircraft carrier, is a glorious expression of the country's maritime power and diplomacy in the Indian Ocean. The floating airfield, 3 acres of sovereign territory, is a tribute to the rising spirits of India on the world horizon. After its commissioning, the IAC-1 was renamed INS Vikrant in honor of India's first ever aircraft carrier with the same name. The illustrious predecessor had played a vital role in the 1971 war for India. Its worthy successor is a testament to the hard work, talent, influence and commitment of India in the 21st century. With its commissioning on September 2, 2022, India entered a select band of nations that have the niche capability to design and build aircraft carriers. It is a testimony to the country's resolve to achieve self-reliance with Make in India efforts. The displacement capacity is about 45,000 tons. Vikrant, which means victorious and gallant, is the largest ship ever designed and built by India. India is the 7th country to build aircraft carrier. Vikrant is built with a high degree of automation for machine operation, ship navigation and survivability. It is designed to accommodate an assortment of fixed-wing and rotary aircraft.
Induction of this ship brings into fold lot of firsts for the nation. One is the indigenous content. It is a true step towards realizing the Indian dream of Atmanirbharta. This is the ship which is truly indigenous, and what new it is that it gives us additional confidence of being a shipbuilding nation. While this cannot happen in a day, it has taken decades for the Navy to realize this dream. And surely this would herald an age of indigenization for the Navy as well as for the nation. The dependence of the nation on the seas will grow. As you would be aware, our 70% by value and more than 90% by volume trade depends on the sea. Securing our sea lanes is of paramount importance, and Vikrant would be an instrument to ensure that our seas are kept safe and the nation is able to grow on the trajectory that it has embarked upon.
Being on the flight deck is an exhilarating experience. The flight deck is where the flying operations happen.
It has a total area in excess of 12,000 square meters. That is roughly equal to about 2 football fields.
The deck can simultaneously launch fighter aircraft and helicopters. Vikrant is a stow-bar carrier, which means with short takeoff but arrested recovery. To facilitate short takeoffs and landings, air speeds over the deck are increased by turning the ship into the wind. For short takeoff of fighters, an inclined ramp assists in getting the required lift and angle of attack for the aircraft to get airborne.
Primary role of this ship is to operate the aircraft and provide the combat support to the naval fleet as required. The aircraft are put on the respective positions so that they can be prepared for flying, and the helicopters are put on the landing axis at the roundels for their preparation. Once the deck comprising of around 10 to 12 fighters and another 6 helicopters start up, in that scenario also we have close to 150 men working to ensure that every single aircraft is launched seamlessly without any hassle.
For landing, the fighter aircraft are fitted with retractable landing hooks that engage transverse wires on the deck, braking them to a quick stop. The flight deck has an independent lighting system to assist in bad weather and night operations. The deck has a complete firefighting system to mitigate emergencies during flying operations. About 200 men start the day by preparing the flight deck for flying operations. First, the entire flight deck is cleared of foreign objects. Simultaneously, the pilots are briefed about their missions in the briefing room. Once the aircraft are airborne, they are mission controlled using radars and sensors in planned missions. They are capable of carrying out attacks against air and surface targets. Once the aircraft finish the missions, they are safely vectored back to the ship and guided for a precision landing. The aircraft with a speed of more than 250 km per hour is brought to stop with a distance of just 90 meters in just 2 to 3 seconds.
This gigantic space is the hangar of INS Vikrant, even bigger than 2 Olympic-sized pools put together. As they say, this is where these massive birds come back and rest.
From the deck, we went to the hangar. The hangar bay is like the carrier's garage for the storage and maintenance of the aircraft.
It has 2 electric 360-degree rotatable turntables, a circular revolving platform for turning the aircraft in any direction.
I must tell you, it is one of the most important places because all the aircrafts, fighters and rotors, both are brought here and stored here. We have a capacity to keep rotors and fighters, and we have 2 service lifts on both sides, which helps to take the aircraft on the top on the flight deck for the launch of the aircraft, and after recovery and after the initial maintenance, they are brought here in the safety of this hangar.
The 4 gas turbines that power the ship produce about 30,000 horsepower. The ship has the capability to generate 24 megawatts of power. That is enough to light up a small town. The length of electric cables on board is close to 2,400 kilometers, roughly the air distance between Kochi and Delhi. After the hangar, we reached the medical complex.
Taking care of the crew and material is of paramount importance for the Navy, and to ensure the physical well-being and also to meet the exigencies, there's a full-fledged medical center on board the indigenous carrier.
The ship has a dedicated hospital complex with CT and ultrasound scanning machines. That makes INS Vikrant first ever ship in the Indian Ocean, not just any naval ship, to have a CT scanning machine. Further, there is a digital X-ray machine, 2 purpose-built operation theatres, and even a full-fledged dental complex. One could consider the carrier a field hospital capable of supporting all fleet ships in the vicinity. The medical complex has a general ward, isolation ward, female ward, casualty, and ICU. All wards have advanced life-saving and critical equipment such as multi-parameter monitor, oxygen concentrator, infusion pumps, suction apparatus, central oxygen supply, and 2 ventilators in the ICU. The dental center on board can perform all routine and emergency operations or procedures, including the maxillofacial surgical procedures.
The operation theatre that we have on board the ship, that is state of the art. This equipment over here is the CT scan machine. It's a 64 slice CT scan machine. The equipment is for the first time on any Indian naval warship plus on board any ship in the Indian Ocean region. We have a surgical team on board, the anesthetist and the surgeon on board. The medical assistants are trained, the manpower is as such available on board. So specialized to do their special jobs.
Home away from home. That's what INS Vikrant ensures for its people. After exhaustive and grueling work schedules, the crew comes and rests in the mess decks. Let's take a look.
Life at sea is challenging and arduous, but for the men and women on board, the ship is home away from home. Getting quality shut-eye at appropriate times can enhance mental health, physical health, and quality of life. And how INS Vikrant facilitates it is what we wanted to see as we headed to the ship's accommodation and residential quarters. A far cry from onshore duty. Challenges and responsibilities are the hallmark of life at sea.
Vikrant has several compartments and spares.
Designed for a crew of around 1,700, including specialized cabins to accommodate women officers. Ventilated and well-lit compartments with clean sanitary facilities ensure that the compartments are not exposed to excessive noise or vibration.
When we are away from the sea, it works like a township. So you would know there must be a lot of facilities that you would require in a smaller city has been packed into this 262 meter, that is in perspective more than 5 swimming pools can come here. So that space, we have everything here. We have accommodations for people which are called mess decks. We have big kitchens which we call galleys. Then we have libraries for people. We have recreational rooms.
From the living compartments, we moved to the galley.
Good and nutritious food is a prerequisite for the physical and mental well-being of men and women on board. So let's see how tons of ration is stored and thousands of rotis are made on INS Vikrant.
INS Vikrant houses 2 galleys that are similar to a cookhouse. The galley starts operation at 3 a.m. every morning that continues for almost 20 hours a day.
It is equipped with state-of-the-art automatic chapati making machines that make 15,000 chapatis per meal session. Large cooking boilers that prepare 400 kilos of rice, dal, vegetables and other dishes.
Additionally, in order to cater for a variety of items in the menu, the galley is fitted with combi steamers, dosa machines and ovens for making idlis, dosas, breads, cookies and assorted bakery items. The galleys also have automatic kneading machines, vegetable cutting and washing machines. The logistics team feeds the floating city and keeps the men nourished and motivated. Be the seas rough or calm, the environment bustling or quiet, the job of the chef is to provide healthy and delicious food to the entire crew.
The galley is divided into 3 complexes: preparation area, cooking area and serving area. The place where we are standing now is serving area. So we have got more than 20 labor saving devices, out of which the one right behind me is a chapati making machine. It has got the capacity to prepare more than 1000 chapatis per hour. The feeding strength of the galley per meal is close to 1500, which makes 4000 to 5000 meals per day. The galley starts 3 a.m. in the morning and it runs 20 hours continuously. We have got chefs who work in a shift so that the meals are ready for the ship's company. The meals are very important because, as everybody knew, meal is one of the morale booster for the ship's company.
An aircraft carrier serves as a seagoing airbase equipped with a full-length flight deck and facilities for carrying, arming, deploying and recovering aircraft. Typically, it is the capital ship of the fleet to project air power worldwide without depending on local bases for staging aircraft operations. Carriers have evolved since their inception in the early 20th century, from wooden vessels used to deploy balloons to nuclear-powered warships that carry numerous fighters, strike aircraft, helicopters, and other types of aircraft. The commissioning of INS Vikrant was a proud moment for the nation as it showcased its Atmanirbhar credentials during the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. It is a true testament to the country's zeal in pursuing capability build-up for enhanced maritime security in the Indian Ocean region. INS Vikrant is designed by Indian Navy's in-house Warship Design Bureau and built by the Cochin Shipyard Limited, a public sector shipyard under the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. With 76% indigenous content, INS Vikrant directly employs over 2,000 employees of CSR. In addition, it has generated indirect employment for nearly 12,000 employees, over 500 original equipment manufacturers, subcontractors, ancillary industries, and over 100 MSMEs, bolstering plowback effect on the economy.
INS Vikrant has been a milestone in a long journey for the company, and personally for people like me, it's been a very critical milestone. It's been a visible milestone, I should put it that way. Strength of India really coming in. India getting accepted, because people are today, I don't want to use which country, but then India is being seen as a clear alternative to that particular country to do large-scale manufacturing.
Aircraft carriers are an intrinsic part of any blue water navy. They are also the nation's biggest marine assets. Aircraft carriers allow the navy to project its power far from their own bases. The maritime arena that includes the immense patrimony of nations and the enormous amount of maritime traffic that passes through it is the foundation of global trade. An aircraft carrier is a symbol of prestige and power for navies across the world. With territorial disputes growing worldwide, aircraft carriers are high-value warfare assets globally. With India moving rapidly towards becoming a $5 trillion economy, our share in global trade will increase in the coming days. And inevitably, a large part of that will be secured through maritime routes and means. It will be in these situations that INS Vikrant will prove crucial to safeguard our security and economic interests. An icon of the nation's pride, power and resolve, INS Vikrant is the glowing symbol of an aspirational and self-reliant new India.
Vikrant is huge, Vikrant is massive, Vikrant is vast, it is special, it is distinguished. I fall short of adjectives. In conclusion, I can only say that Vikrant is an embodiment of self-reliant India. Well viewers, that's all I had for you in this edition. With camera persons Jitendra, Junaid Khan, camera assistant Pradeep, and with assistant producer Raj, I'm Kriti Mishra, signing off from Kochi.